Why are your glasses all dark?
I don't know, because of the sun.
No sun.
Yeah.
Just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would?
All right, welcome back to our channel. We are Create and Capture Life. I'm Jonathan, she is Lynn, and let's get into it.
All right, so there were a lot of questions that we got through Instagram and YouTube in the comments asking us random questions last year, and we never did a Q&A. I just picked out some of the most frequently asked questions, and I just figured we'd answer those real quick because we're starting a new year. We're gonna put out, for new questions, so I figured we should probably answer the questions you guys had from last year.
Yep, finish up the last year now.
I mean, it's only February already, but still.
Who knows? By the time this posts, it might be March, April. Who knows?
So Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So the first question that was asked multiple times from people who didn't go back way in the Wayback Machine and watch our previous About Us video, which is fine because it's really old.
You should really go back and do that, though.
We're not those same people anymore. It's fine. How did we meet?
How do we meet?
Are you going to answer it, or am I going to answer it?
No, I'm still curious what...
There is a really big story to it, but long story short, we met while working on the show called Fantasmic at Disneyland.
Yep.
In 2007.
Yep, she was annoying and I kind of liked it. We met while I was setting up for the show, and she was rude to me, and I was like, the people that the department that she worked in, the people that she worked with, didn't typically talk to the techs like me, and she made a snarky comment, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, and then it just kind of went on from there, and well, she continues to make snarky comments, so nothing changes, but I kind of like it still.
So there you go.
There you go.
Do we still work at Disney?
Yes.
I guess we should update that because I get a lot of questions from people when they see our RV or see us on video or Instagram posting things from Disney about where we work, in what capacity, what part of the company do we work for, do we work at the park. So I work at the Disneyland Resort. Jonathan does not. I work in film and television production at the Disneyland Resort.
So technically I work for a division of Imagineering known as Live Entertainment, and though I am Anaheim based, I'm not at the park. So I'm a few miles away from the park, but my team supports a global delivery operation. So we service all parks and resorts.
So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, please ask us more specific questions down below.
Yeah.
And we are sitting outside, and there are crows that are buzzing around, and the people behind the camera across the waterway have a really annoying wind chime. So if you keep hearing that, I'm sorry. I'm hoping our dead cat is lessening that.
And apparently I was shaking my leg, and now she's kicking me under the table to stop shaking my leg.
Because you're shaking the camera.
No.
How are you different on camera versus off camera? Couple things. One, I think that's a funny question because I work in film and television production, and the talent as we call them, so actors and actresses, performers, things like that we work with, they never tell the truth about. If you were to ask them that, they would never tell you the truth as to the answer to that question, because I have unfortunately really liked a lot of actors and actresses and things, and then met them in person, and now I can't even watch them on anything. So, but I will be honest, as far as I go, he's gonna have to answer on his own, but as far as I am, different on camera versus off. On camera I wear makeup all the time. Off camera I don't. On camera I talk a lot. Off camera, unless I know you really well, I don't. But I guess those would be the two biggest things for me.
I would agree with both of those things. I'm pretty much the same. I don't think I'm any different. I'm rude and obnoxious on camera. I am rude and obnoxious off camera.
True.
Yep.
Next question was, do we watch sports besides hockey? And if we do, what are our favorite teams? We watch, this year, we started watching football.
She started watching Taylor Swift.
And cheering for the Chiefs. More so, not because of Taylor Swift, more so, honestly, because of Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce and their podcast and things like that. So technically, I root for the Eagles and the Chiefs, which is counterproductive since they're in different leagues. But technically, I root for the Eagles and the Chiefs at this point. But I did grow up watching football, so I've always liked football. And we've always liked hockey, and we like the Ducks, and I don't see that changing.
No, I tease a lot of people about the whole Taylor Swift thing, and obviously that became a big thing. But no, Lynn introduced me to the New Heights podcast with Jason and Travis Kelce, and I gotta say, like, I've always been a fan of football. I've always been like able to watch a Super Bowl, and I never really had a team that I rooted for because growing up in Southern California, we never really had good teams. Sorry, all of you guys that
all
are
you
like
49ers and Raiders.
49ers, Raiders,
fans.
Rams, all that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't really care. But when she started watching it, I was kind of like, okay, these guys are funny. And then I watched the documentary on Jason Kelce and his wife, and I was like, okay, these guys are actually pretty cool. So, am I gonna claim to be a Chiefs or Eagles fan? No.
I'm definitely a Chiefs and Eagles fan.
Yeah,
so.
I think they're both great. I guess maybe I would be a fan of theirs if they were to decide to go, I'm not shaking my leg anymore. I guess I would be a fan of theirs wherever they went. I think they're pretty cool people. But as far as my diehard fandom, it's definitely, I'm a diehard Ducks fan. So.
And then as far as football goes, I grew up watching what used to be called Monday Night Football with my dad every Monday night. Those were the days when you only had the TV and no cable, and you only had the TV in the living room, and so he got the TV every Monday, and it was Monday Night Football, so I knew all about football. And grew up cheering his teams on, which were Chicago Bears and Pittsburgh Steelers. So I grew up, So I like watching football again because it reminds me of those Sunday or Monday nights with my dad. So yeah, those are the sports. We don't watch any other sports. Next question that we got asked towards the end of last year was, do we still like full-time living in our RV full-time? I would say yes.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I mean, simple answer is yeah. I mean, there's a lot of complications, and we can talk about.
We'll talk about that in a whole other video.
We can talk about all of the downsides of living to full time in another video. But
yes,
in general, yeah,
yep.
Yeah.
If we didn't, we wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
Next question, and this is a good one. I actually really appreciated this question. I have them written down in front of me. What are the most surprising reactions we've gotten from friends and family or other people when they know that we live in our RV full time? One of the things that surprised me the most is, if you follow us on social media, you know that I was in the hospital in September. I had to have emergency gallbladder surgery. Then I had to go back and have another surgery for complications. It was a horrible week. And what really surprised me about that is after, when I got to come back home, is how many friends and family offered to let me come recover at their house so that I could sleep in a real bed. And no shade to them. I appreciate the offers, 100% appreciate the offers. But it was funny to hear multiple people say I needed to recover in a real bed in a real home. So that was weird, because to us, this is our home and this is our bed, and our bed's very comfortable. So that was a little bit weird. You also get, because we're from LA and we work in the industry we're working, we get two kinds of reactions. Jonathan gets more of the oh cool reactions, he'll tell you about those, but there's also the oh.
Yeah, see, I don't.
Which is like,
Yeah, I don't get those at all.
You can't afford to live in
No.
California, you're homeless, you're, all the things. So they feel sorry for us.
Yeah.
So that has happened.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. When I describe what we do, the way I describe it is, because if I tell people I live full time in my RV, that doesn't compute with most people. Most people nowadays, especially the younger generation, they identify with van life. So I tell people,
or homeless in California, because we're in California.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, but I tell people that we live van life, and they're like, oh, and I said, except I do it in a motorhome. And they're like, oh, okay, so that it's like it clicks, right?
Because
it's
van life is like
van life out here in California is
sexy,
is
and
very
like
popular. Yeah, it's like very cool. Like, going and living in a van down by the river is now a goal for most people,
Right.
like younger people.
It's like the dream.
Yeah. So when I tell them that we're doing it, they're like, oh, wow, that's cool, and they're kind of excited and they want to talk about it. But I have had those conversations with people that living in California in an RV, and technically, according to the state of California, being considered homeless.
Without the perks and benefits of
Without any of the perks and benefits, because
being homeless.
as pro, like, all of the things California is, being technically homeless is not easy here in California. So, like, we don't, because I have an income, it's actually very difficult.
Right.
So we'll talk about that in some future videos coming up too.
So yeah, those are the most common reactions we've gotten. So yeah, it goes from one end of the spectrum of they feel sorry for us to the other end of the spectrum, which is, oh my God, I'd love to do that someday.
Yeah.
So somewhere, everyone falls somewhere in there.
Yep.
Okay, this is another question that we got a lot towards the end of last year and early this year, and I kind of understand why we got the question. I don't want to name any names, but the question is what has surprised you the most about other YouTubers that you've met? I don't want to name names, okay? I don't want this to be a drama channel, but I will say that so far, the YouTubers that we have watched over years, looked up to, met in person,
Hung out with,
had, broke bread with, as you would say. There are very few. I can't even think of anybody right now with a YouTube channel, with the current YouTube channel, that are who they said they were. I'll just kind of put it that way. I don't know, you might have a different opinion, but I can't think of anybody that we follow on YouTube that still has a channel that has turned out to be either what we thought they were, and then we were disappointed that was all fake, or they turned into, or are in the process of turning into something that we have difficulty respecting.
Yep. Yeah, she's not going to say the name, and I'm not going to say the negative name, but I will say the positive name. I think on the very top of the list of people that have been absolutely 100% true to who they were on camera, and they've been amazing friends, and we have so much respect for them. If you guys ever follow Dan and Jen Nevada,
they quit YouTube about 2 years ago.
They have some YouTube channels every once in a while, and they have their own independent
they do like an update every now
yeah.
and again, but not really anything else.
I will say they're probably one of the only...
To me, they are the only ones that are exactly on camera who they are off camera.
Yeah.
And they are some of our best friends now.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
I would say probably...
I appreciate them being in our lives.
Yeah, they're the only... I don't know, maybe that's harsh to say, but they're probably one of the only ones that have been who they said who they are on camera, and who have not changed. Yeah,
no matter what they've gone through,
Yep.
quitting YouTube, doing this, doing that,
Yep.
whatever they're doing, they're trying to keep more private, so we're not going to, go
Yeah,
into what
no.
they're doing. We just saw them recently, by the way. So for those of you who follow us, who followed them, and you always wonder, we just saw them last month.
They're doing great. Yeah.
And they're enjoying life and
Yeah.
doing wonderful. So that, just so you know.
Yep.
But yeah,
We haven't met a lot. Let's be honest. We have not met a lot of YouTubers, so we can't say that for fact for everybody.
well, we've met a lot of YouTubers, but we haven't met a lot that we've followed along their journey
Sure,
for
right.
years and then met them.
Yeah.
Because there's some that we follow that I'd love to meet someday. Like Tim and Finn. I'd love to meet them.
Yeah. They're not RVers though.
Not anymore, but they were. But they're still travelers.
Yeah.
Things like that. But they're, of the people we've met, in my opinion, Jonathan may think differently. For the most part, it's pretty disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fame, money, things like that go to people's heads sometimes, turns them into somebody different, and
Yeah.
that sucks.
And I'm not going to promise that we're never going to get super famous and just ignore all of you little people that we trampled all over
So stupid.
to get to where we are or where we will be. I make no promises, but
You're so dumb. Yeah, we'll still be living in this 30-foot RV,
Yep.
doing our thing.
I'm just as annoying in real life as I am on camera.
True. I can attest to that. What's our favorite state? And if we were going to live in a state, like if we decided to quit RVing full time, would we live in California? No.
No.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
Our daughter and her fiance moved to Kansas City last September.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Missouri, on the Missouri side. We just visited them and fell in love with that city. His parents are considering moving there. And seeing what I saw there, I would definitely consider living there. And but also Montana. I adore colder states. I adore real winters. So Montana, South Dakota,
Yep.
something up in the top.
Yeah. My family's looking at Tennessee, like south of Nashville, which for me would be really cool because there's definitely industry there that I could jump right into.
But it gets too hot there.
It gets hot everywhere, but yeah,
Humid and
we
hot.
don't really know. I mean, we have not.
We've talked about it.
Yeah.
We've talked about some places, but
we're
not planning on stopping.
No,
so.
we have not traveled enough to find where we want to settle down. Let's put it that way. How about that?
If we ever quit living in the RV. Because
Yeah.
for now, other than maybe buying land and building a tiny home, I don't want to live bigger than this. I like the fact that we live small.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
But yeah, it would be somewhere, for me, it would have to be somewhere cold.
Yep. Somewhere where I can have a barn, because we can live small, but I need a big barn for all
He
my
needs
projects.
somewhere to put all his hordes of things.
Yep.
And this is the last question. This got asked a lot since September, especially on Instagram.
Before we get to this, I know a lot of people always say, where did you get? Do the people actually ask you these questions, or are you guys just making up these questions for content? No, people legit ask us these questions.
You can look down in the YouTube comments
Yeah.
and Instagram comments. You can't look at our direct messages on Instagram,
Yeah, obviously.
but
or people ask us this in person. Once
True.
they find out what we do, these are a lot of the questions we get asked in person. If you have questions that you want to know about living full time, if you have questions that you want to know about Disney or anything, I mean, obviously we can't answer all kinds of questions because there's confidentiality, and I'm under so many NDAs that I'm not even allowed to talk to myself. But if you have any questions that we can answer, post comments post questions down in the comment section. Send us a message. Follow us on any of the other social medias. Just look on whatever social media format you're at, except for X. I don't think we're on X. But find us, Create and Capture Life.
Capture Life.
And then ask us questions. We will do these all the time, and we'll answer as many questions as we can. So yes, these questions are actually all asked of us. These are not fake questions for content.
I don't like doing videos enough. I don't like being on camera enough to make up questions.
Right. Exactly.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to say, if you're going to go to Disneyland, let us know. Because if you want to meet us and you're going to be going to Disneyland, if we're in the area, we could always meet up with you. 'Cause it's easy for us.
Maybe.
So if you're not like weird, serial killery.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're in the area and we're not working, we can always come say hi.
Yep.
So let us know if you're going to be at Disneyland, because I know summer's coming. And no, we can't get you in for free.
No.
Sorry.
We can barely get ourselves in for free anymore.
This was asked a lot since September. So it's how am I feeling since my surgery and the complications and all the things. I'm feeling great right now. Knock on wood. I'm going to say I'm feeling great right now.
Right now.
It changes a lot. Obviously it's been up and down since getting my gallbladder removed and the complications, but I think we're finally gotten to a point where I know what I can and can't eat now. Things have settled down in my abdominal, all the things they ruffled up when they were in there. Things they moved around and pushed around and squeezed on and screwed up and all those things. I think we're at a point where it's better. And so, yeah, I'm feeling good. Thank you for asking. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone who sent me thoughts and prayers, things like that. I really do appreciate it. And I believe they do make a difference. But the second part of that question, and I get this all the time. I get it from friends. I get it from social media. Not from family, because they know better. But does Jonathan get annoyed that you're always sick? I'm gonna let him answer that.
No, it's funny because this is gonna sound weird to say it like this, but our entire relationship, ever since we first started dating, Lynn has always been in some sort of state of sick. It's true. I mean, it's the reality.
When we met, I was recovering from a traumatic brain injury,
right, exactly.
So, which is why I married him in the first place.
Yeah, because she's got brain damage. I'm not joking with people that might have severe brain issues, but she legit has, yeah.
So that's why we're together.
But no, but really,
so he's grateful.
Yeah, I mean, look at me. Do you think I could score that in any other way? But seriously, there's always been some sort of medical issue or something like that. So I'm okay with it. It's where we started. She's asked me several times, and even before we got married, she always told me
that was a duck flying. Oh, multiple ducks flying by.
It was 2 ducks. It was a duck. She's asked me multiple times. She's given me several outs, and I don't.
Before we got married.
Yeah, I don't want to be out. I mean,
Now it's.
I'm good. I'm
signed
good
up.
with it. Yeah, I'm locked into this now.
In sickness and in health.
Yeah, all the things. But yeah, we've had our ups and downs. We've had, really high highs. We've had really low lows. But together we can figure things out. And, I figure all this is just, prepping her for the day that I get really sick, and then see how she does with me being sick.
That's why I married somebody younger, though.
Yeah,
so.
Because if I get a cold, I'm not as much of a baby as most people say guys are babies. Yeah, no, I'm not. No, because I still went to work when I had COVID. Before COVID was a thing. Oh, can we even say COVID anymore? Yeah, I guess you can say COVID now. We won't get condemned for saying COVID on YouTube. But I went to work before COVID was a thing, and I'm pretty sure I had COVID. So
anyway.
But no, I'm not as much of a baby. But yes, the answer is absolutely
personally,
yes.
I think the answer is he gets annoyed. Yes, he gets, and no. I think it's annoying when it affects things that we had planned, or when we're out somewhere and I have to leave, which happened when we were at Walt Disney World last year. It's annoying. It's annoying to me too. It's nothing bad against him, but it annoys me too when I'm all of a sudden we're having this great time and then I don't feel well and I need to, sit down, or before I fall down, or things like that. I get annoyed with it too, though.
Yeah, I don't see it as annoying. I just see it as sometimes it's like
it sucks.
It sucks. It's just something we have to deal with, though. It's life. You know, it's what we've been dealing with medical issues and stuff like that ever since we've been together. Everything from when we first got together, and she was always dizzy and nauseous and all those kinds of things because she had multiple concussions. All the way through
the crazy gallbladder thing, which was just, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But it's,
you just deal with it.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, I know there are people whose relationships do not withstand sickness. Unfortunately, I was in a relationship like that when I got my traumatic brain injury, and that basically ended that relationship because I wasn't the same person I was before.
Lucky for me.
So I get it. And it can be annoying, but I think it's annoying and frustrating for both of us, you know?
It could also be annoying living in like 150 square feet, but you know what? We figured it out too. So
True.
yeah.
So anyway, those are the questions. There were a lot more, but those are the most frequently asked questions, like by multiple people. Like I said at the beginning of this, that have been lingering out in the universe, and so I just wanted to get those out of our brains, so we can start this new year. So if you have any other questions, please comment them down below. Send me a direct message on Instagram. Comment on something on Instagram if you have questions. We're more than happy to answer questions. The one thing all of our friends do say about us is especially me, is I'm very blunt, and I'm always going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not.
True.
So feel free to ask questions, and we'll tell it like it is. Thank you guys so much for being here. We do appreciate each and every one of you and consider you part of our families. We love you. Take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
And remember, if you have some questions, make sure you ask them in the comments below. Click the like button, ring the bell, and show us you love us too.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.
I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here